So the reason for saliva filling in your mouth, even for an arahant, if food was placed in an arahant's mouth, saliva would probably secrete from the salivary glands. I can only assume, okay, because I don't know how an arahant's body would function or how his mind would function, but I can only assume that when food is placed in the mouth, then the secretory or the salivary glands will start to secrete saliva. But the problem that we have is without the bun even going into our mouth, while it's still in our hand, still saliva starts to come. All I need to do is talk to you about buns. I can hear your tummies rumbling from here. So there's a problem with that, right? Because why do you need saliva when there's no bun to digest? So an arahant's nature would be, there will probably be sufficient amount of saliva to digest the bun, but not anymore. Or at least until the bun goes into the mouth, there won't be any secretion of saliva. Because what is the point? And besides, an arahant would be able to keep that piece of bun in his mouth for as long as is required, without the mind telling him, swallow the bloody thing. Because that vexation, as it touches our tongue and as we feel that going through our mouth, all these are pleasurable sensations for us, but not for an arahant. Your favorite item of food, how long can you put it in front of you and keep watching it? Keep looking and staring at it without a single moment where your mind's telling you, eat it, when there's no hunger? You just ask yourself, every time you've eaten, have you never had those days where you've eaten far too much? Eaten more than you could stomach? Right? Sometimes you couldn't even walk and you start to loosen your belt. Have you never had those days? When you go to the buffet, how do you eat? Like food's going out of fashion, right? Why? Because we don't eat for what eating was designed for. Eating was brought into this world to help us to put out hunger, to sate our hunger, and to help us, our bodies, get the nutrition it needs. That's what food came into this world for. But that's not what we use it for. We use it to seek pleasure from it. Through sight and sound and smell and taste and touch. Through all these feelings, through all these senses, we enjoy our food. Fried rice. Why do we have so many types of rice? There's fried rice, there's biryani, there's white rice, there's yellow rice, there's rice with sultanas, right? Cashew rice. How many types of rice are there? Lamp rice. Why do you need so many types of rice? If the purpose of rice is to sate our hunger, then why does it matter how it comes? Yeah. Why do people have to stir fry rice? Why? All these inventions were really to help people relieve themselves of vexation. But for that vexation to first come into the mind, someone gave the idea, someone put an advert on the TV or some kind of newspaper article or some kind of magazine or whatever and said, this food, you must try it. And then from that moment on, the mind starts to vex. Just ask yourself, last time you went into a restaurant, okay, the chef brings the menu, you order the food item, right? From the time between you ordering the item of food and the food arriving on your plate or arriving in front of you, how do you feel? How's your stomach feeling right now? In that time, there's a war going on in there, right? There's a battle going on in there. If you only held a stethoscope to someone's stomach at that time, you'd probably go deaf. Because of all the noises that you hear, all the rumbling that's going on in the stomach. Why? Because there's the promise. Your body has already gone into waiting. I'm waiting. I know I'm going to be experiencing pleasure in a moment. Just can't wait for it. And wait and wait and wait and wait and wait, and finally they bring the dish in front of you. Now, feast. How many of you, if you ever, when you go shopping at the supermarket, right? Let's say you found something that you think is, it's a bite or some kind of delicious item of food, maybe crisps or fries or something like that, and you thought, right, I'm going to bring this home and eat it. How many of you actually opened the packet up and started eating on the way home because you couldn't wait until you got home? Just ask yourself, you've never done this? Whether it's chocolate, crisps, all these things that people find yummy, right? Takeaway. Got a pizza. How many of you couldn't actually wait until you got home before you started it? You opened the box and started, gorging yourself on it. Why? Because your mind can't wait. Your stomach can, your mind can't wait. Because there's the promise of pleasure. So when you come across these situations, these are moments to actually do your meditation. These are fantastic moments to meditate. Really. These are the best moments to meditate. Because if meditation is a battle, then your enemies have now come in front of you. This is the best time to fight. Your enemies are in front of you. Because when you come to these meditation sessions, you have to wait for the enemy to come. You go, hey enemies, come here, come here, come here. You got to call them. You got to summon your enemies. But when you're living your real life, day-to-day lives, your enemies come in front of you without being summoned. Now you can battle. Now you can fight them. So, practically, I suggest you try and do this. Right? Next time you sit down to eat. Okay? So you have your food served on your plate, like you did yesterday. Put it on the table. Watch it for a few moments. Look at your dish. Right? Observe all the items of food that you have prepared for yourself. It could be rice or noodles or whatever you've served yourself to eat. Now, do you ask yourself, are there any items of food that you find more pleasurable than others? Are there any items of food where you're drawn to more than others? Right? You see, for some people it could be an egg, others it could be a piece of chicken or a sausage or whatever, right? These are generally things that people find yummy. Just ask yourself, if you have a piece of chicken on your plate, isn't that usually the last thing to get eaten? It always remains. At least a small portion gets remained till the end. Because that is your promise. Eat the rest. Keep the pleasure. You eat the rest of it and finally that last bit of chicken goes into your mouth. Or that last bit of sausage goes into your mouth because you want to end it with a party. Why does the mallum remain? Eat all the rice and then finally eat the mallum. Oh yes, I get to eat my mallum now. Usually those things go in first. The things that you don't like to eat. You keep watching the things that you like to eat and get rid of the things that you don't like to eat. Because, this is painful. Eating the mallum is painful. But you look at your sausage. That's good. So, I know it's coming. Wait, all I have to do is wait. I just need to get through this mallum and then finally I get my sausage. Now the yummy chicken drumstick. Wait. Oh, you wait. I'm gonna give you one hell of a shot. Just wait. If only that chicken came alive, he would run, knowing the oncoming danger that is about to face. Because in a moment, it's going to be devoured by a beast. Because all that vexation that was building up in front of you, in your mind, right? If only that chicken could sense that. Because it knows, right, you're leaving me to the last, as the last item, because you want that vexation is building up in your mind. So these are moments to really contemplate. This is what we do when we do the pratyaveksha. Before we eat, right, it's not just the stanza that we recite. We look at our alms bowl and ask ourselves, are there particular items of food that you find more pleasurable than others? Back in the time of the Buddha, there were monks who used to practice this, whereby when they go on alms, if they have been served something in their alms bowl, right? If they found that there was a particular item of food that they were waiting to get back to the monastery to consume, they would find that detesting about themselves. They would detest the fact that those feelings came into their mind, and what they would do is they'd put down their alms bowl, sit down on the side of the road and start to meditate until until that desire to consume that item of food has gone from the mind. And there will have been occasions when the time that you are allowed to consume food within, which has passed by, and then that's it, they're not going to be having that food. But to them, extinguishing that desire is more important than filling their stomachs with food. That is the kind of effort that is required for someone who wants to actually achieve this result. So in your practical day-to-day lives, before you start to eat, I at least try it out for a week. Homework. This week, try that out. Right before you have your lunch, food served, put it in front of you. Observe your plate. Just give it 1 minute. You know how Christians, they say grace. They hold each other's hands sometimes, right? You will have seen in films and things like that. This is them being grateful. Thank the Lord for putting this meal in front of us. What a great thing to do. Because they're practicing gratefulness. That's what saying grace is about. You can do that. Not say grace, but be grateful. Something I do when I take my meal is I reflect on the food that I have and ask myself, is there anything I like particularly than others? And if there is something, then I blame myself for it. I scold myself about it, and I tell myself off for it. And then I contemplate on that. Why? Why do you find this more delicious than the other thing? I keep asking myself. And I reflect on the fact that this is simply attachment and ignorance that's getting the better of me. And then before I consume it, I give merits to all those who have taken trouble to put this meal in front of me. From the farmers to the animals who have helped in ploughing the fields, to everybody who might have cooked this meal. Everyone and anyone who will have gotten involved in preparing this meal, it is thanks to them that I'm able to consume this meal. So why can't you do that at home? This is why I said, becoming a monk, part of that you can practice from your in a worldly life, in your lay life. Donning robes is not what you need to be hasty about. We call this the siura, right? The robe, siura. Ura is another word for shoulders. It's a singular word for shoulders. Deura. The other two shoulders. Siura. Siu is 4. Ura, shoulders. 4 shoulders. But here we're talking about the 4 noble truths. So become someone who can bear the 4 noble truths in their mind before you become someone who bears a robe. For that you can remain a layperson and do that. What you need to be hasty about is not to ordain yourself physically, but to become a monk in the way you look at the world. Ordain your mind before you ordain your body. Otherwise, this becomes torturous. If you're not ready to become a monk, and you come and become a monk, oh God, I tell you, it's painful. It's very painful, excruciating. Because you will have lots of vexations you will want to relieve yourself from, but there will not be paths to do that. You will not be able to fulfill them. Then the pressure keeps building and building and building and building, and one day it's going to blow up. And that day, you will bring a lot of shame upon yourself as well as others and on the Sambuddha Shasana, and that's not good. It's better to have lived a lay life and work through your vexations rather than become a monk and then not having been able to focus, not having had the peace of mind to focus on your true vexations, but rather disciplining yourself because of the rules of conduct and then destroying your life by doing that. Only someone who has ordained their mind is actually capable of bearing robes and living by the code of conduct that the Buddha has given. Because this robe it actually belongs to Arahants. This is they are the heirs of the robe. We borrow it. We borrow it. This is how we consider. It's something we borrow from the Arahants, from our forefathers, the Arahants, from the Buddha, to help us on this path, to get to the destination that we want to get to. It's not rightfully mine, really. This robe is not rightfully mine until I have rid my mind of all the defilements. Until then, it's a borrowed item of clothing. It's not rightfully mine. Although you have given it to me, it's not rightfully mine. So, use these moments to reflect. That is practical application. If you grow flowers, it's okay. I'm not saying stop it, because it's not an unwholesome deed. And perhaps, you grow flowers, you use the flowers to offer to the Buddha. Wow, what a great thing to do. I asked you all some time back to start offering some water in the morning. If you have a Buddha statue at home, hopefully you have started doing that now. If you haven't, start. And I told you how to contemplate on that. Right? This is clean water. Clean glass, clean water. Like a clean mind and clean thoughts. Clean as in free of all defilements. So when I used to wake up as a layperson, I used to make myself a cup of tea and I used to go and offer the clean glass of water to the Buddha. Now I juxtapose the two, put the two together and compare the two. This is my state of mind, this is the Buddha's state of mind. Clean glass, clean water. My mind, it's muddy. Look at it. It's colored, tainted. I'm not proud about that. So every day has to be a fight to get to a clean state of mind. Back when I used to make my tea as a layperson, so we put in pure milk, fresh milk, and then of course the tea goes cold. Then you have to stick it in the microwave and then heat it up. Right? That's how we used to make our cup of tea back in the UK. So then as it went round in the microwave, I was thinking, that's like me going around in samsara. Heating up as it goes around in the microwave. Why? Because it's tainted. So I need to get to a state of mind where my mind is free of these these defilements. I want my mind to be like the glass of water I have offered to the Buddha. So that's the reflection that you can do. When you offer flowers, you can reflect on that. When you offer incense sticks, you can reflect on that. We've talked about this in the past. An incense stick, right, gives off sweet smells, pleasant smells to everyone in the vicinity, everyone in the surroundings. Ask yourself, are my actions and my words like that? The people that I touch with words, how do I leave them? With a pleasant state of mind or in a defiled state of mind? Am I like this incense stick or not? If not, change. You can change. So all these offerings that you do, they have a great resemblance to, or rather they have a great significance in terms of your practicing of the path. But reflect, particularly wherever you experience pleasure. These are the moments that will take you closer to fulfilling your wisdom. Reflect on the moments of pleasure. It might be there's a particular movie you like to watch. Watch it. I don't say don't. Because if I say don't, will you not do it now? You can still do it. Besides, if you want to watch it and you don't watch it, the pressure is going to keep building up. And one day you're going to explode. That day you're going to go and sit in front of the TV and you'll watch it 10 times over. Well, better to just watch it once now, rather than watching it 10 times over. But as you watch it, ask yourself, why do I find watching this movie pleasurable? What is pleasure? Now start questioning yourself, asking yourself. Always interview your mind. Get into an interview with your mind. Ask yourself, why? Keep asking why. Until you get to some reasonable answers. Don't let your mind be unreasonable. Hold it accountable. Hold your mind accountable. Because every time you have suffered in samsara, who's accountable? Your mind is accountable. So hold it accountable. It's because of you I have suffered so much in samsara. It's because of you. Now, give me answers. Come on, speak up, give me answers. It's because you find this, that and the other pleasurable that I have suffered in samsara. Give me answers. Why do you find them pleasurable? Ask your mind. Why do you find those flowers beautiful? Why do you find that song beautiful? Why? Give me answers. Be fearless. Ask your mind. And when the mind fails to answer, now bring in the Dhamma and say, right, although you don't have answers, I have answers. Let me give you the Dhamma. Now, refute them if you can. I dare you. Pleasure is nothing other than relief from vexation. You have been vexed all along. You can argue with me all you like, but you can't refute me. You can't dispute anything I'm telling you right now. Talk to your mind. Challenge your mind. And eventually the mind is going to have to accept what you say. Say, yep, I get it. All right, I get it. Well, then you say, well, then do as I say then. Slowly win the mind over. You can do this. You just need to do it. Then you can do it. If you do it, you can do it. Of course. If you don't do it, then you can't do it. Of course. If you do it, you can do it. But there's a big if. People should do, they could do, but they don't do. Why not? It's easy to do, and it's easy not to do. That's why. It's easy to do, and it's easy not to do. Remember I told you last week? Why don't people eat their apple a day? It's easy to do, right? Eating an apple a day? How is it easy to eat an apple a day? So easy to eat an apple a day. But why don't people do it? It's easy not to do. How easy is it to brush your teeth every night before you sleep? How easy? So easy. So why don't people do it? Because it's easy not to do. That's why. That's why people don't do it. It's easy not to do. It's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. Don't be like that. As a closing remark, I'll remind you what I said last week. I hope at least some of you got, because I really wanted to drill that into your minds. Right? Nibbana is easy. It is. Don't wish for it to be easier. It's as easy as it can be. It can't be any easier than that. It's as easy as it can be. Don't wish it was easier. Wish that you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skill. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skill. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Because in becoming better, you will become great. It doesn't matter whether you reach your destination or not. That's not what matters. It's what you become in the process that matters. In the process of becoming better, in the process of getting to your destination, you will become better. You will. You absolutely will. Anyone here has already attained Nibbana? Put your hand up. No, but are you not better than who you used to be a year ago? Are you not proud about that? Seriously, are you not proud of who you are today compared to who you used to be? But none of you have attained Nibbana yet, or so you tell me. What matters then is not whether you have attained Nibbana or not. What matters is what you have become, who you have become in the process of getting to your destination. That's what matters. Focus on that. Work on that. And eventually you will get to your destination. That has been given a cast iron guarantee. You will. Don't worry about the destination. Just work on the present moment. Work on getting there. Not work on there. Work on getting there. Then you will get there. Because if you look far ahead and see Nibbana, you're going to think, I'm never going to get there. And then you'll feel disheartened and you'll give up. I'm never going to get there. I can't even imagine free of desire, free of aversion, free of delusion. Never. I'm never going to be able to do that. What do you tell me? I'm going to see a flower and not see it as being beautiful? Never going to get there. No. Don't worry about the destination. Work on the now. Work on what you have to do now. Just reflect. Simple, see? How easy is it to reflect? Anicca dukkha anatta. How easy is it? So easy. So why don't you do it? It's easy to do. So it's easy not to do. That's right. I'll say this finally. Out of all of you and those who are listening in online, right? I say, at best, 5% will do this. 95 won't. My question to you is, which of these two do you want to be part of? Do you want to be part of the 5% or do you want to be part of the 95%? Good. The 5% who will do this will do it because they will do it. The 95% who won't do this won't do it because they won't do it. That's why. Some people come and ask me, Swaminas, I keep trying, why can't I? I don't get it, I just can't do this. So the best I can tell them is, people like you, they never do this. People like you never seem to achieve the results because you just don't do it. Although you keep telling you do it, you can't be doing it. If you're doing it, you can do it. You can. Try this, seriously, try it, and you can. You seriously can. I swear to you, you can. If you do it. If you don't do it, you can't do it. If you can do it, you can do it. And you will do it.